SolidWorks assemblies contain a lot of different files, and these files may include the components, drawings, textures, decals, and so on. Now, usually these files are located on different folder locations or different drives, either locally or a network. And if you want to send the assembly file, then you need to send all of these individual components as well. Now, from the feature tree right here, you can see that this assembly, this cabinet assembly, contains a lot of these files, different kind of files. And if you want to send this assembly, then you need to send all of these files. So you can individually send all of these files. If they are located on different locations, you need to bring it all together in a single folder and send it. Or you can use this next feature, which is called Pack and Go. Using this, you can directly collect all the required files in one single location and send it. Now, the Pack and Go feature is inside this file menu. So go to File and Pack and Go. And here it is. This Pack and Go feature will automatically collect all the files of this assembly and it will put it together in one single folder or a zip file. Let's see what we have here. Well, the first thing here is some checkboxes. And using these checkboxes, you can include or exclude some file types. For example, if you have drawings, you can include it or exclude it. If you have toolbox components like fasteners or screws, which you have used from Toolbox, then you can include it using this checkbox. So if your recipient has no access to Toolbox components, if he's using the basic version of SolidWorks, then they may not have access to Toolbox. In that case, you can include the components from Toolbox right inside the assembly file. I'll uncheck this. Now, if you have suppressed components, you want to include that too, keep it checked, and we'll keep it checked. So suppressed components will be included. Now, simulation results and custom decals or appearances will be included if you check these boxes. And finally, we have this option which will include all the default ones as well. So here you can clearly see that we have applied the default texture and default appearance, which is available in every SolidWorks software. So you don't essentially need to send it, but just in case you want to, you can check this box. Now, when you check or uncheck these boxes, these numbers will change. This one is for sub-assembly. So there are 3 sub-assemblies, 12 components, and 0 drawings and 0 other things. Other thing includes the simulation result, appearances, decals, and so on. So if I check this, well, this other value will increase. Similarly, if you have simulation result, if you check or uncheck, this will change, but we don't have any simulation result, so it's just not making any difference. All right, I'll uncheck all of these except for this include suppressed components. Now, currently we have this complete list in a nested view. You can change it to flat view and all the components and every single subassembly will show up like this. So we have this full subassembly, drawer subassembly, and the hinge subassembly right here. And also, if you go to nested view, the same thing will show up just like this. So here you can see it just like this. Here the drawer has all of these components, and then we have hinge with all of these components right here. And similarly, everything is added in a nested view. Now, this is the location of this original file, and this is where it is saved, which is basically the same place. But if you want to change it, you can change the location as well. For example, here we have this drawer solid part, and let's say we want to change its location. So you can just double click here, go to browse, and then specify a different location for this specific file, and the location has changed. Now, if you want to change name of any component or maybe several components, then you can use this select and replace. For example, here we have the drawer screw, hinge screw. Let's say we want to change this name. We want to make it drawer bolt and hinge bolt. So instead of screw, we want bolts. So I'll go to select and replace, and here I'll select for screw. All right, now I'll go to replace text with, and I'll add the new text which I want for this. So we want to replace a screw with bolt. All right, and then click on replace all. There we are. We've got this drawer bolt, hinge bolt, and wherever this shows up, SolidWorks will automatically replace it. We also have an option of saving this entire assembly in a folder, and this is the folder location. You can click on browse and specify your own location. Right now it is saving it inside this file cabinet dash modified folder, but just in case you want to specify a different location, you can go there, or even you can create a new folder and save this entire assembly there. Maybe I'll go to this desktop. Inside this same folder, I'll create a new one. So I'll right click here and select new and folder, and let's call it Pack and Go. All right, and inside this Pack and Go, we'll save it. Select folder And now it will be saved right inside Pack and Go. If you want to save it in a zip file, you have the option right here. Now it will save it as a zip, and once zipped, you can easily send it via email or using any cloud sharing platform like OneDrive or Dropbox. I'll simply select Save to Folder. Now, if you want to add prefix or suffix, you can do that here. For example, let's say this is our first revision and we want to add this information for every single file. For that, I'll just uncheck this add prefix and instead I'll check this add suffix and I'll add this suffix rev1. Now -rev1 will be added to every single file once you do that. So press tab key and here we are. We've got -revision1 added as a suffix. You can also add a prefix. For example, let's say we want to add prefix as 1 and then dash. Tab key and here we are. We've got 1 dash prefix added. Well, we don't want this prefix. We just want the suffix. So I'll leave it like this. You can also just flatten everything to a single folder, which means everything will be added in one single folder. If you select flatten to minimal folders, SolidWorks will decide the minimum number of folders based on where your files are located. And if you want to keep full folder structure, select this, which is the least flexible option. And I won't recommend using this one because it will then create several folders inside your Pack and Go folder and the result won't be that good. So I'd recommend that you select flatten to single folder when sending these kind of files. And once you are done, click on save and we are done. We have everything inside a single folder. Now let's see where that is. So I'll go to this folder here, file cabinet inside desktop, and right in this folder, we have Pack and Go. So these were the original files, but then I'll go to Pack and Go and right here is everything that we need for this assembly to work. So you can simply create a zip package, simply right click and select compress to zip file and then send it as an email, or you can directly create this zip inside the Pack and Go feature. So that's how Pack and Go works in SolidWorks.